Hey everybody, I'm Ray from Drozd, and today I want to show you how to properly install the Drozd Blackbird Bulk Air Kit. And I also want to go over a couple tips on how to safely and effectively use it so you don't have any trouble. First and foremost, this is how you receive the Blackbird Bulk Air Kit as we ship it to you. It's a coiled air hose with what's called the UFA or Universal Fill Adapter. It's the on-off knob that allows you to turn the air on and off at your bottle. It has a female quick release coupler, kind of used like in nail guns or automotive repair type applications, except this one's 1/8 inch instead of 1/4 inch or bigger. We attach the Blackbird remote air adapter into the end of the hose for you. That's just so it can't get lost during shipping. You guys can't say, hey, you never sent me the adapter. It's in the end of the hose. And so to remove this from the end of the hose so you can install it, what we need to do is we need to pull the collar back right here on the Blackbird Bulk Air Kit. And what I want to do is, let me zoom in a little bit here so you can see this. I get questions from time to time asking how to do this properly. So this is technique. It's not, you don't need to muscle this connection right here. And all you do is you take your thumb and your index finger, you place them on the knurled collar, pull it back, and you just disconnect the adapter right out of the end of the hose. Set your adapter down, and now we are ready to continue. So here's a magazine out of a Drozd Blackbird BB gun, and it has the 12-gram CO2 cartridge adapter installed. We need to remove this before installing our adapter. So to start, we just unscrew it. And if it doesn't unscrew real easily, there is a set screw right here on the top of your magazine, right above where the adapters screw into. It's part number 56 in the exploded parts view of the manual. It might be a good idea to loosen this screw a couple turns because it is tight by the factory. And what that screw does is it locks in the adapters so that they can't turn out when you're tightening and loosening the piercing mechanism for the 12-gram CO2 adapter. Or if you're using the 88-gram cartridges, it's so that the adapter does not unscrew with the cartridge when you're trying to remove it from the magazine. So if your adapter is stuck in there, first thing to check is make sure you loosen this screw. Once I have the 12-gram CO2 adapter off, just go ahead and set it aside. And now I can take our Blackbird remote air adapter and screw it into the magazine. If you can see in the end of the whole magazine here, there's a hole. There's an O-ring down at the bottom of this hole. So no Teflon tape or plumber's putty or nothing like that is needed for this adapter. You simply take the adapter, screw it in, hand tight is all you need, and it should not leak. That's it. You're ready to attach the hose and hook it up to the bottle and put it back into your gun. What I do get questions about time to time is people will try to screw this adapter in and they'll say, hey, it leaks. When it leaks, it's caused by one of two things. The first one, let me zoom in again. Alright, so the first one, I don't know if you can see that, is, again, it's because this screw up here, part number 56, might be sticking down a little too much, and it doesn't allow you to screw your adapter in all the way. It'll lock up nice and tight, but the adapter hasn't seated against the O-ring, so when you apply air, it'll leak. And if that's happening, what you need to do is you need to loosen that screw and continue to screw your adapter in. You know your adapter's screwed in all the way by the amount of space between the back side of the hex on the adapter and then the kind of the face on the female of the magazine right here. You should not have more than a thumbnail gap in between right here. I don't know if you can see that on the video, but you should not have more than a thumbnail's worth of gap in right there. if you have more than the thumbnail's gap, you need to see what's going on, because you should not. Anyway, just tighten it and you're ready to go. If after you tighten this and you're sure your adapter is seated in there correctly and you're still getting leaking, it's likely due because the O-ring inside the magazine here is torn up and needs to be replaced. You can find those, I believe you get 2 or 3 of them in the package of spare O-rings that comes with your Drozd Blackbird. It's the largest O-ring in there typically, and they're kind of soft. Well, all O-rings are a little soft, I suppose. Actually, it's the harder one. You'll find that there's 3 of them in there. They're the biggest ones, and 2 of them will be soft and 1 of them will be hard. You want to use the harder rubber one to put down inside there. I forget the part number in the manual right now, but if you open up your package of O-rings, it'll be obvious of which one it is. Just make sure to use the stiffer of the O-ring of that size. You don't want to use the softer ones. Those go somewhere else in the magazine. Alright, so now that we have our adapter screwed in, it's ready to go. We can apply air to the magazine outside of the gun. It does not need to be installed in the gun in order for you to install air. The magazine is safe while air is applied to it. It's not going to shoot. It should not leak. And I find it typically it's easier to apply the air and to turn the air on with the magazine outside of the gun, as opposed to it being installed in the gun and you having to maneuver your fingers up underneath the stock. That can kind of be cramped and difficult to do. So once we have our adapter in, we take our hose. Here again, it's a female quick release fitting. You just pull back on the collar, slide it over the end of the adapter, and push forward. You should hear it click and lock into place. Once it's clicked and locked into place, just give it a little pull to make sure it does not come off easy. As long as it does not come off, you're ready to go on there. Okay, here's the other end of our hose. It has our on-off on it. I will zoom in one more time so you can see this. Alright, let's see. So as you can see here, it says open and close. You want to turn it so that it's all the way to closed before you screw in your bottle, and then once you screw in your bottle, go ahead and turn the knob down to open. But for right now, we'll do closed. Alright, so now what we do, once we've made sure that our valve is all the way in the closed position, we take our bottle and we go ahead and screw it in. Just screw it in until it stops turning. This is an O-ring seal as well, so it doesn't rely on the threads. You don't have to manhandle it super tight. It's not the threads that are doing the sealing. It's the O-ring on the bottle itself. Once your bottle is screwed all the way into the on-off valve, that's when you go ahead and you turn it open and release the air into the hose, and then you can go ahead and install the magazine back into your gun and shoot. Once you're done shooting, you're going to want to turn the air off at the bottle. Go ahead and just turn it all the way until it stops turning towards the close direction. Once it's turned to close, no more air will come out of your bottle and enter the airline or the gun. But your airline will still have a lot of air in it, and it's not exactly easy or safe to disconnect from the magazine right now. So what you need to do, once you turn the air off on your bottle, go ahead and shoot your gun for another 20 to 30 shots. Might as well do it the fun way. You get a few more shots. You don't have to worry about shooting your gun on too low of pressure. It will not jam the barrel or the magazine. Just go ahead and shoot it until BBs no longer come out of the end of the barrel, and then once all the air is out of the line, you can safely disconnect the air line from the magazine and store it separately from your gun. I do not recommend storing the Drozd Blackbird with air attached to the gun, in the ready to shoot position. I don't recommend it because over time the Blackbird will leak the air out, and if you set that aside for days, weeks, or even months, you're likely to come back to shoot your gun and your bottle will be empty. So I don't recommend storing it with the air activated and attached to your gun. Let's see, I think I covered it all as far as the Drozd Blackbird Bulk Air Kit, but if you guys have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them below and I will answer any questions that you might have. Thank you for watching.